I stand here in your mind as the voice that refuses to coddle you. I do not care about your excuses or the reasons you decided to curl up and whimper. I see your potential, and I also see your habit of running. Right now, I want you to listen. This is not a polite request. This is a challenge. Drop the pity routine. Drop the whimpering. Drop the belief that you are broken. You are not broken. You are just choosing to collapse under pressure. That choice can be reversed in the blink of an eye. Because the moment you decide to stand tall, nobody can break you. Nobody can lock you up in your own self-imposed cage. Nobody can destroy your spirit if you refuse to hand them the keys. Stop looking for people to rescue you. There is no cavalry. Nobody is riding in on a shining steed to pick you up and carry you to glory. You have been waiting for some grand gesture, some magical sign that will tell you it is time. The truth is clear. The only sign that matters is your own decision. Either you move or you wait and rot. Either you rise or you sink and vanish. This is a harsh truth, but it is the only truth that will set you free. The complaints you clutch so tightly are worthless. Nobody else cares about the storms in your life. People are too busy with their own challenges, or they are forging ahead, turning their chaos into triumph. Listen closely. Those who keep going are not necessarily braver or stronger than you. They are simply determined to take charge instead of crying in a corner. They use their doubts as fuel. They convert their fears into a forward push. In that decision lies everything. The difference between stepping into the fire and forging steel, or staying in the mud and counting every drop of rain. Self-pity is a toxic substance. It seeps into your bones, weakens your resolve, and convinces you that you deserve some gentle handout. There is no handout. There is only the path you carve with your own will. When you show the world your self-pity, you show weakness. That weakness invites predators. It invites those who want to prove they are stronger or to exploit your fragility. Decide now to destroy that self-pity. It has no purpose but to keep you from greatness. Replace it with a fierce determination. Replace it with a quiet anger that sparks a relentless drive forward. Turn self-pity into unstoppable momentum. While you waste time moaning about unfairness, someone else is out there refining their skills. Someone else is lifting heavier loads, running farther, mastering every detail. Their efforts will overshadow your tears. Their progress will make your complaints look like empty noise. This reality does not care about your comfort. You will either keep pace or you will remain behind. If you choose to blame the world or your circumstances, you have no business expecting a better outcome. Those who claim victory do not waste time pointing fingers. There are days when motivation seems to vanish. That is natural, but discipline is bigger than motivation. Discipline is a cold, unyielding force that does not require a spark of excitement to function. It is a well-tuned engine that runs even on the bleakest days. Discipline gets you up at dawn, even when your body screams in protest. Discipline compels you to practice for long hours, even when your mind is tired. Discipline is the difference between a mere wish and a concrete fact. Let discipline be your guiding principle. Let it crush every weak impulse. The world admires those who radiate power. Power is not cruelty. Power is the capacity to act, to protect, to create, and to overcome. It is the quiet confidence of someone who has faced their own demons and refused to bow. When you decide to embody power, you become someone who can choose mercy or choose relentless action. You become the master of your own narrative. The timid voices around you will fade, because you will not be swayed by them. And in that stance you find respect, not the shallow kind that begs for approval, but the kind that commands attention without uttering a single plea. Exhaustion is part of this journey. Every champion knows it. Tired muscles, weary minds, bruised hearts, these are marks of growth. They are the proof that you are stretching beyond your comfortable limits. Many people feel a twinge of fatigue and decide that is the end. They slump down and declare they have done enough. Those are the ones who watch from the sidelines while the driven few keep charging forward. The pain does not kill you. The fear does not paralyze you. It is your surrender that seals your fate. If you embrace the ache and push again, you will reach that next tier of potential you never knew you had. You're not entitled to a second chance. The world can be unkind and unforgiving. There is no universal rule that says you deserve infinite opportunities. Waiting for fairness or for a break is a gamble. You want progress? Seize the moments, command them. If you slip, fight to stand up again. But never assume that redemption is guaranteed. The only guarantee is what you wrestle from the jaws of fate. The only guarantee is what you create with your own sweat, your own focus, your own resolve. Do not lie to yourself about the reasons for your stagnation. Do not spin tales about circumstances or unlucky breaks. Your results are the sum of your actions. If you repeatedly choose lethargy over hustle, that is your answer. If you habitually blame others for your misery, that is your personal wall. Shatter that wall. Confront the reality that you, and only you, drive your destiny. Yes, there are hardships. Yes, there are obstacles you never chose. Still, you decide how to respond, cower or conquer, lament or leap. The direction is always yours to choose. When I speak of action, I speak of the daily grit, the small, unglamorous tasks that add up to colossal shifts. The discipline of putting one foot in front of the other, even in the darkest hour. The discipline of studying your craft until your eyes burn and your hands ache. The discipline of training until your body is drenched in sweat and your heart is pounding. This relentless approach breeds real victories, the kind that stay with you and do not vanish at the first sign of trouble. The kind that transform your identity from frail to formidable. That transformation is not instant. You will have moments where doubt creeps in, whispering that you are wasting your time. Dismiss the doubt. It has no place in your forward march. You will have setbacks that tempt you to retreat into old habits of complaint and despair. Recognize them as tests of your dedication. Every slump is a test. Every mistake is a test. Every heartbreak is a test. Pass those tests by standing defiant. Pass them by refusing to return to that self-pitying posture you once clung to. Pass them by, marching on with a fiery purpose. Too many people walk around with an attitude that the world owes them recognition. The world owes you nothing. Let that sink in. You want a place at the table. Earn it. You want respect. Command it through your deeds, through the sheer, undeniable force of your accomplishments. Waiting for applause is foolish. Applause is fickle. You will gain it from some and lose it from others. The real measure is your personal code, your unwavering resolve. And do not confuse external noise for validation. The greatest validation is found in the reflection of someone who refused to quit. Those who whine see every new day as an ordeal. The winners see it as a battlefield that can be conquered. You step onto that field. You do not wait for permission or for ideal conditions. You charge in, prepared or not, hungry to break new ground. You see obstacles as foes to be bested, not as signals to whine even louder. That is the difference. The whiners are experts in reasons why things cannot happen. The doers are experts in solutions and unwavering decisions. When you feel that burning question in your gut, why is it so hard? Turn that into raw fuel. Hard means valuable. Hard means not everyone can do it, which means your reward is bigger. Hard means you're on the cusp of something worth achieving. Easy is for those who aim low and stay low. Easy is for fragile souls who never want to sweat. Do you really want an easy life? Then prepare for emptiness. Nothing great ever came from easy. Greatness is forged in relentless trials. Stop looking at the clock. Stop wondering how long it will take. That is a game for people who want shortcuts. You do not want a shortcut. A shortcut robs you of the lessons hidden in the struggle, the lessons that fortify your spine and sharpen your vision. You want the real path, the one that tests you thoroughly. That is the only way to become unbreakable. That is the only way to develop the core of steel that can handle anything life throws your way. Some people have asked, in their most despairing moments, why the road seems filled with betrayal and heartbreak. Because life is not a fantasy. The illusions break the moment you step into the real arena. You will find liars, thieves, and manipulative souls. That is no excuse to collapse. That is a challenge to become sharper, more discerning, more powerful. You cannot wish away the darkness. You must become a force of light so strong that darkness cowers. You must arm yourself with unshakable will, the kind that does not bend even when the wind howls. Do not confuse this iron stance with cruelty. True power does not require a hardened heart. It requires a focused spirit. It requires clarity of purpose. You can show kindness when you wish, but that kindness is a choice, not a plea for acceptance. When you stand tall, you do not fear how others perceive you. You are beyond their small opinions. You are driven by an inner command that demands excellence. That is the ultimate freedom. In this path, you will face exhaustion so deep it feels like your bones might snap. You will wonder if you have reached your limit. The beautiful fact is that your limit is far beyond what you think. Your mind will try to preserve energy. It will tell you to rest for a while. Let the others fight harder. Let the others push further. But the champion in you will roar back and say, keep going. One more push. One more moment of agony. Because in that push lies the metamorphosis from ordinary to unstoppable. No excuses. That is the mantra you hold. Tired? Good. That means you have used some energy. Sore? Good. That means you have torn old limitations. Afraid? Good. That means you are on the frontier of your comfort zone. This is not cruelty. This is the raw environment of growth. Like a plant breaking through the concrete, you must harness every ounce of grit to rise where others fail to sprout. Imagine how that plant pushes. It does not wait for a friendly gardener to poke a hole in the pavement. It breaks through, chunk by chunk, millimeter by millimeter, until it touches the sun. You are that force. Or you can be, if you choose to wake up. If you choose to tear yourself away from the litany of reasons why life is too tough. I did not promise comfort. I promised results. Comfort is the domain of stagnation. Results belong to those who keep forging ahead long after the rest have settled for less. Keep forging. Keep forging until your spirit roars with the power of unstoppable conviction. Discipline is the quiet companion that never abandons you if you do not abandon it. Cultivate that companion. Treat it like a sacred oath. No matter how you feel, no matter who doubts you, no matter what stands in your way, you show up. You do the work. You push. You endure. You refine. Over time, discipline transforms into unwavering mastery. People will see your unwavering eyes and sense a presence that is solid as stone. That is what discipline does. It gives you an aura of reliability and force. You become someone others cannot easily disrupt. Being dangerous is not about violence. It is about possessing the strength to shape your destiny. It is the capacity to take bold actions without trembling at the world's reaction. The timid hearts crumble under pressure. The dangerous few hold steady and create new realities. Consider a storm at sea. Many ships capsize. The ones that survive are built with sturdy frames and a crew that refuses to panic. Be that sturdy frame in your own life. Let the storm rage. You remain steadfast, guiding your vessel through the fury. That steadfastness is the hallmark of a person who does not whine for rescue. You are going to see friends and acquaintances drop off. They will not understand your relentless pursuit. They will call you obsessive or question why you never pause to take it easy. Let them. You do not owe an explanation for your hunger. You do not owe comfort to anyone who expects you to lower your standards. The path of greatness can feel lonely, but that loneliness is brimming with power. In solitude, you hear your own voice more clearly. It is a voice that demands more than the average, more than the customary, more than the world thinks is enough. Never forget, every single time you decide to stand up a bit straighter, push a bit harder, you raise your personal standard. That new standard might scare you, but once you claim it, there is no turning back without deep regret. Embrace that fear. Let it drive you further. Let it remind you that the higher you climb, the grander the view. Some will say it is not worth the risk. They are betraying themselves with that timid approach. You do not follow them. You become a beacon to those who want to break their own chains. Hardships are certain. This is not negativity. It is preparation. Expect them. Greet them. Use them. With every hardship, your fortitude grows. When others quake, you stand firm. When others plead for mercy, you keep forging. That differential in response creates the vast gulf between the top and the bottom. People love to romanticize the middle. They call it safety. That safety is an illusion. The middle is the zone of quiet desperation, where half-hearted attempts produce mediocre results. Push past the middle, surge into the realm of real impact. You do not have to be perfect. Perfection is a myth that stops progress. You only need to be persistent, unbreakable, and devoted to an iron vision of yourself as a winner. Let that vision glow inside you. Let it pierce the darkness of doubt. Each day, hammer that vision deeper into your reality through action. Words can talk about greatness, but action stamps greatness onto your life. Remember that adversity reveals allies and traitors alike. Some will admire your grit, others will try to sabotage it. Let that be further fuel. The more you stand your ground, the more you filter out the weak influences that once held you back. You emerge with a circle of similarly driven souls, or you walk alone until you find them. Either way, your direction is forward, unstoppable, unwavering. When your body and mind both scream to quit, you will discover that extra spark. It is hidden behind your illusions of limitation. Draw it out. Summon that raw spark to power through the final stretch. That final stretch is where you find the greatest transformation. It is where your mind breaks old patterns and realizes it can go far beyond what it once believed. That shift in belief changes everything. It changes how you see obstacles. It changes how you handle challenges. It changes who you are at your core. You might wonder if at some point you can sit back and rest. That is your choice. But understand that true rest comes after deep triumph. A rest that is earned tastes far better than any forced break. A rest that follows monumental victory is filled with pride. A rest that is snatched in the midst of a half-done effort leaves a sour taste of regret. Look at yourself in the mirror. Decide which kind of rest you want to earn. If you want to keep whining, do not complain when life treats you like a bystander. If you choose to stay a loser, do not expect applause. The two states are linked. Whining and losing form a pathetic cycle that perpetuates itself. You can shatter it at any moment by deciding, with absolute conviction, that you will push on, no matter how deep the pain. That is the moment you stop whining. That is the moment your story changes. That is the moment your grit becomes unbreakable. In the heat of action, do not forget the bigger reason you push so hard. You push so hard because you crave the authenticity of self-mastery. You crave that feeling of seeing an obstacle and knowing beyond any doubt you have what it takes to conquer it. That knowledge sets you free. It frees you from the need for approval or from the fear of failure. When you know your own power, you become unstoppable. And that sense of invincibility is not arrogance, it is clarity. Clarity that you can withstand the blows and emerge stronger. This is your turning point. Strip away the layers of old excuses. Let them burn in the furnace of your drive. Stand up. Steel your mind. Do not look for comfort. Look for the next challenge you can smash. Do not whisper your dreams. Shout them in your soul. Keep them as a force that pushes you beyond the edges of your limitations. Build discipline so ingrained that your moves become second nature, unstoppable as a mountain avalanche. Let your days become a testament to your fierce spirit. You do not need pity. You do not need gentle pats on the back. You need your own unwavering pledge to push, to rise, to endure, and to win. If you do that, you will find respect. Real respect, which is formed from the hard clay of relentless effort. Others might throw stones, but those stones will not stop you. They will only pile up around your feet as you climb to higher ground. Use every stone as a step. Use every insult as fuel. Use every slight as a spark to ignite your unwavering heart. This is not some passing speech or a little pep talk. This is a permanent shift in how you live. From now on, there is no more whining. From now on, there is only the daily march toward excellence. Let your words and your actions align. If you say you will conquer, then do it. If you say you will overcome, then prove it in the battlefield of reality. The time for idle dreams is gone. Replace them with unstoppable deeds. When doubts try to creep back, slam the door. Drown them in the roaring fire of your will. Doubt is a parasite that feeds on hesitation. Give it nothing. Starve it. Replace every question mark with a solid period of action. Stand proud in your purpose. Embrace the scars you earn. Wear them as badges of honor that show you went beyond the easy route. You stared fear down, spat in its eye, and walked on. Now you are at the threshold. One final push, one final surge of determination. Hear my voice as your own conviction, urging you to step forward without looking back. Throw away the crutch of complaining. Throw away the anchor of self-pity. Step into the unknown with iron in your veins and fire in your heart. Because if you do not, you remain stuck in the place you dread, that place of inertia and regret, that place where losers lie to themselves and call it destiny. Your destiny is still unwritten. Write it with your sweat. Seal it with your grit. Let every day become a living testimony of a person who chose to stand instead of slump. Let your legacy be built on unstoppable momentum. The day you stop whining is the day you set yourself free. The day you declare that losing is no longer an option is the day you taste true power. That power is within you right now. It only needs your permission to break through. Make the decision. Step across that threshold. Feel your mind sharpen, your spine straighten, your heart pound with fierce determination. This is the ultimate call. Either you rise now, or you remain forever in the shadow of your own excuses. Stop whining or stay a loser. That is the final truth. There is no middle ground. Choose now. Choose boldly. Then act and keep acting until the roar of your own spirit drowns out every doubt, every fear, every timid voice. That is your calling. That is your victory.